Hi, caregivers. My name is Sarah Picard-Taylor. I'm a mom of an elementary school age child and also a staff developer at the Teachers College Reading and Writing Project. I'm here to spend some time with you today thinking about answering the question that many caregivers ask me: what should I do when my kindergartner or first grader asks me, "How do you spell?" and then they ask for a word? This often happens when your children are working on their independent writing at home, working on a writing assignment that their teacher has given them, and you're in the middle of cooking lunch, stirring a pot, answering a phone call, helping to care for another member of your household. It's not easy. And so I want to give you a couple of suggestions for things that you could do in this moment when your young child, our youngest writer, is asking for support with spelling. Okay, so first, you could encourage them to be independent, an independent problem solver. And you could have a little mantra. The mantra that I often use with a young writer is to say the word slowly, write what you hear. Say the word slowly, write what you hear. And this is important because it's teaching the child to be independent. It's teaching the child to apply what they learned from their teacher during their phonics and spelling time to their actual independent writing. It's asking them to use what they know. It's important to give children time to do that, to apply what they've learned in another time of day to a real world context. The second reason it's important is because it gives the teacher and you, if you're homeschooling your child, a window into the discrete phonics information that they already know and that they need our help with. So for example, if your kindergarten or first grader is writing the word drum and they spell it J-U-M instead of D-R-U-M, that will tell you something. That will tell you, my child is ready for me to teach them a little bit more about, the phonics world would say, consonant blends. And so when you see your child's mistakes in their spelling, rather than having alarm bells going off, to me, it's like an invitation to show them. So that's number one. Encourage them to be independent, notice what they need. The second thing that you can do is, if you have the time and you want to help them spell the word, you can sit right next to them and say, let's work on it together. A fun thing for kindergartners and first graders to do when they're writing a word that they don't know how to spell is to play a little bit of robot. You can say to the kids, say the word like a robot, and that will get them to say each sound individually. So let's say they want to write the word get. You could say, let's say it like a robot, get. Now you say it. The child will repeat it back. Then say, now let's write something for each of those sounds we hear. And that's where having a simple tool like an alphabet chart nearby can be really helpful. I'll show you one of mine and show you how I do that with kids. So if they're trying to write the word get, I might say, let's say it like a robot, get, and then have the child say it. And then I'd say, now let's match that sound with a letter that we know. So g, that sounds like goat. Let's write the letter G and have them write that down. Then I'd go through each sound of the word, pointing out if they need help, which letter it is, or asking them to identify. Always letting them use the picture that's there to remind them of the sound the letter makes. The third thing that you can do is just tell them how to spell the word. This is probably the fastest one while we're stirring the pot of pasta on the stove, or perhaps involved in the care of another person in our household. And just be sure not to spell every word for kids, only occasionally. If you're going to do this and just tell them, shout from the kitchen, it's get, G-E-T, get, then what I would do is encourage the child to write it down and study it. Study the word. Ask the child to run their finger underneath the word, say the sounds, g, et, get. Do that a few times so that they can map this word in their brain. And then I might also show them a few other words that look the same. Like if they asked for get, I might also show them set and bet and do the same thing. Have them run their finger underneath it. This way, if I'm showing them how to spell a word, I'm also showing them a few other words that look and sound the same. I've done some little bit of extra teaching. Caregivers, I hope this was helpful to you and the child that you love. I'm thinking of you. Be well. Thank you for another day.